Hi, today is February 7th, and we're continuing to walk through the Bible, and we are answering the questions, who am I, who is God, and what the heck are we doing together? I'm reading the one-year Bible, and you can read any Bible that you want, any translation you want, but I recommend the one-year Bible because it makes it so much easier and so much more accountable because we follow the dates and it keeps us on a reading plan. That is a little part of the Old Testament, little part of the New, Proverbs and Psalms. And today we are referring to the scripture, Exodus chapter 26, 1 through chapter 27, verse 21, Matthew 25, 1 through 30, and Psalms 31, 1 through 8, Proverbs 8, 1 through 11. Now we have gotten into Exodus chapter 26, and it's describing the details, very, very, very detailed instructions that God has given Moses. And as I said yesterday, it's an exact model. It's a very effective model. If you want to understand ourselves and who we are, if you just look at this tabernacle, on the outside of the tabernacle, you have the curtain that is keeping the outside from coming in. And that, to me, is the body. The body has we have our skin, but we also have the five senses. That is the gate that allows our experiences to come in from the body into the inner court, which is the place where we are, that's our will, our mind, our emotions, and then into our spirit. We have a spirit man that can connect to God, who is also a spirit. So this is where we're going to meet with God. But this here is kind of like the command place. So on our bodies, we are going to have our senses, which are hearing, taste, touch, seeing, and feeling. And this is it's an amazing model of who we are and what we are. And I really believe that God was very purposeful when he created the model and the tabernacle. There's so many things in it, in the ingredients and the furniture. And that's not for us to study today, but I encourage you at some point in time to study the tabernacle and the worship and the things that God tells us about himself and about us through the tabernacle. So we go from the Old Testament, we're going to the New Testament. In chapter 25, Jesus has just told the disciples how to see the end of the age, how to see just before the time of Jacob's trouble, just before the time of tribulation. And then he says, the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 bridesmaids who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them, they all got drowsy and they all got tired of waiting. But 5 of them were ready. 5 of them had the oil, which I believe is symbolic of the oil of the Holy Spirit in their lives. And they said, in the old culture of Israel, the wedding party was ready. The bride was getting ready at all times. And she never knew when the bridegroom was coming. Even the bridegroom didn't know when he was coming. The father of the bridegroom would say, okay, now you're ready to go and get your bride. And it wouldn't matter if it was the middle of the day or the middle of the night. The bride had to be ready. And the bridegroom would come with an entourage, and they would declare that he was coming. The bridegroom is coming, and everybody prepare and get ready. Well, in this parable, the kingdom of heaven is like 5 bridesmaids who weren't ready for the marriage feast. And it says in verse 6 of chapter 25, at midnight they were roused by the shout, look, the bridegroom is coming. Come, here's that word again, come out and meet him. And all the bridesmaids got up, but 5 of them were not ready and did not make it. And then they stood at the outside of the marriage feast and they shouted, let me in, let me in. And it gives me a picture of the people that were in Noah's day. Remember, Jesus said that the end of the age just before tribulation will be like Noah's day, where everybody is drinking and feasting and just having a grand old time. But then the rains came, but the door was locked and they could not get in. So they're on the outside of the door pounding and pounding, and they can't come in. And this is the same picture. And it says, Lord, Lord, open the door for us. And he called back, believe me, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. You know, we talk about knowing God, but he wants to know you. He wants to know you as a husband and a wife know each other intimately, very, very closely, because they're one. And he wants to know you as close as that, maybe even closer, because your husband or wife can't get into the innermost part of your being, which is your spirit. But that's where God meets you, in your spirit. So you must keep watch. Jesus said you must keep watch, because you don't know the hour. It's very sobering if you really stop and think about it. It's a very sobering message. There are some who think they're ready, and they are not. And the message is get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Stay ready. Be looking and be prepared, for the bridegroom comes, and he comes without warning, and he comes quickly. And then again in verse 14, again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. And so there's a separation, and he leaves with his servants. He leaves some talents, which was money. We like to think of this parable as the talents inside of you, inside of me. And there are so many things that, there's so many books that are buried in the cemetery. There are so many videos that are buried in the cemetery. They never got out of the person that was destined to create those things. And this, back to the parable, the master left the talents with the servants, and the servants who received 5 talents, he went out and he invested, and he made 5 more. And the one that had 2 talents, he went out, invested, and got 2 more, 100-fold. And then the one who didn't, he only had 1 talent. He was afraid, and he buried it. Well, here's the response of the master. The master was full of praise for the first 2 who invested their talents. They weren't afraid, and he said, well done, my good and faithful servant. You've been faithful in handling this small amount. Now I'm going to give you many more responsibilities. But to the servant who was afraid and buried his talent, and basically it went to the grave with him. But when it was time to report to the master, he said, I knew you were harsh, and I was afraid. I was afraid to fail. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of everybody. Okay, let's say this. Everybody does, everybody has the opportunity to be bad for the first time. You're not going to be great. When I started these videos, I knew it wasn't going to be perfect. And I thought, okay, maybe they're not even going to be good, but they're going to be done. And I know that with experience and with God's help, it's going to get better. And by the end of this year, these are going to be really, really great videos. And, it's the same thing with any talent that you have. Just start for the first time. You're not going to be great in the beginning. You're not going to be totally successful overnight, but you keep investing, keep investing that talent into the kingdom, and you keep doing what God has created you to do and what God has called you to do, and you're going to get better and better. And don't be afraid of failure. Just fail forward, learn from your mistakes, and keep going. So he called this servant a wicked and lazy servant. Wicked and lazy. I do not want to be called wicked and lazy. Again, Moses said, oh, I can't do this. I can't. And what he really was saying is, I don't want to. And sometimes we have to really look in the mirror and say, is it because we can't, or are we not willing to fail? Are we not willing to do it bad for the first time? Are we not willing to put ourselves out there and get rejected? Are we not willing to give what we have? And, you know, God has given us a lot, and we don't even know how much he's given to us. You know, the servant had 5, and the investment came back with 5 more. So give yourself, and I believe the Lord is going to give you a return on your investment. So then we get to Psalms chapter 31, 1 through 8. And it's so many beautiful pictures of our relationship with God. Oh Lord, I have come to you for protection. How many times does he say he's our protector? God is our protector. Save me, for you do what is right. Turn your ear to listen to me. How great it is to have a God who listens to you and hears you. Rescue me quickly. Be my rock of protection, a fortress where I shall be safe. I will be safe. You are my rock, my fortress. That's our God. For the honor of your name, lead me out of this danger. Pull me from the trap my enemies set for me. For I find protection in you alone. I entrust my spirit, the innermost part of my being, into your hand. For you are a faithful God. Our God is faithful. And he says, you have not handed me over to my enemies, but have set me in a safe place. You have set me in a safe place. You have set me in a safe place. Proverbs talks about the value of wisdom. Cry out for wisdom. And I want to just read something that I wrote. It's I'm going to call it a poem, but it was my heart cry at a time a little while ago. And I said, where am I? A safe place is a place of purity. A safe place is a place of wholeness. A safe place is a place of safe people. A safe place is a place of quiet. A safe place is a place of truth. A safe place is a place of love. A safe place is a place of acceptance. A safe place is a place of friends. A safe place is where I want to be, but where am I? A safe place is a place of correction. A safe place is a place of safety. A safe place is a place of mercy. A safe place is a place of grace. A safe place is calm. A safe place is where I want to be, but where am I? I'm surrounded by trouble. I'm affected by sickness. The waves are all around me. I can't see my friends. I often feel rejected. Where is love? Where is safety? It's in the secret place of the Most High, under the shadow of his wings. It's in knowing truth. He loves me. He accepts me. He forgives me. He heals me. He is my friend. He's full of mercy. He is me because I'm in him. If he is safe, I am safe. My job is to believe. Lord, make me a safe place. And the Lord is coming to you today, and he's asking you to come to him. And he will provide for you, and he will set you in a safe place. And I pray that you will find him as you seek him with all of your heart, because he has already found you. So come to him and see. Come to him and have an amazing, absolutely blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow